Hello, Sixties, receiving teachers and students. Thank you. You may take your seat. Now, before we move on to our lesson, I would like us to go through the corrections to your previous lesson on adding unlike fractions. I believe you did that for homework, so I want a volunteer to come up to the board and do your working out. We will only correct one of the exercises, and I'd like us to go through the corrections to exercise B. Any volunteers? Okay, we'll have Milika. There you go. Okay. Is that your final answer? Let's put your equal sign. Equal sign. All right, thank you. What do you think, class? Have a look at Milika's working out. Is she correct? Yes. Are you sure? All right. Thank you very much, Milika. Now, these are the steps to adding unlike fractions. So let's go through Milika's working out quickly, and then we'll move on to our lesson. Seven eighths plus 2/3 equals. What was the first step? What? Yes? Anyone? Done? What's the first step? Yes, Milika? All right, come.
I multiplied with the LCM.
All right, what did you do first? You multiplied. All right, thank you, Milika. Any more answers? What's the first step we do? Class? You multiply. Is that the first step? Yes. Now you're forgetting your rules. The first step, you check the, what are you going to check first? You look at the denominators. Are they the same? So step 1 says, class read.
Make the denominators the same by
right, you find the lowest common multiple. You will find that the lowest common multiple that was written is 24. So we have lowest common multiple. Is 24 the lowest common multiple? Yes? Okay. So from the lowest common multiple, you will find a number that can multiply by 8 to give 24. So it will help you find the equivalent fraction to 7/8. So we have 8 times what number will give you 24? 3. That's why we have 7/8 times 3. The numerator multiplied by 3 as well as the denominator. Plus 2/3. 3 times what number will give 24? 8. That's why we have 2/3 multiplied by 8. 2 times 8 plus the denominator 3 times 8, which will give you the equivalent fraction for 7/8, which is 21/24. So 7 times 3 is 21, 8 times 3 is 24, plus 2 times 8 is 16, plus 3 times 8 is 24. So 16/24 is the equivalent fraction for 2/3. So you can see, are they the same? Yes. So because the denominators are the same, it becomes the common denominator. So all you do is add the numerators. So we have, what's the numerators? 21 plus 16. Okay, 21 plus 16/24. 21 plus 16 equals to? 27/24. What kind of fraction is this? It's an improper fraction. So you use you divide. Thank you. You divide to get 1 and 13/24. What kind of fraction is this? It's a mixed number. All right. Thank you very much. This is how your working out should be. All right. We move on to our lesson for today. We will look at adding mixed numbers. Now, mixed numbers, what are mixed numbers? Can anyone tell me what a mixed number is? What is a mixed number? Thank you. Or louder, please.
When the numerators are big and denominators are small.
Thank you. What do you think about or sensor? When the numerators are big and the denominators are small, is that a mixed number? No. Good try. Okay, thank you, Laka. We'll have Laka.
Fraction that has a whole number.
All right. Well done. A fraction that has a whole number. Just a whole number? Any more things? Just a whole number? A fraction that has a whole number and a fraction. Not only a whole number, but a fraction that has a whole number and a fraction is a mixed number. So we will be looking at fractions that have whole numbers. Okay. We will go through the first example. We are going to add, all right, can I have someone to say the fractions on the board? Maybe I'll have a volunteer. I'll have Emmanuel. Can you read the question up before we move on to our exercise? All right, excellent. Emmanuel, 1 whole, 1/2 plus 2 and 1/3. Or you can say 1 whole, 1/2 plus 2 and 1/3. Now, in order to add mixed numbers, we also have steps. I want everyone to pay attention and watch carefully while I explain, because I will ask you a few questions as I explain the steps. Now we have addition to add mixed numbers. Class, step one is to, can you read? That's step number 1. So I will put the question up. This is what we are going to look at. We are going to add 1 and 1/2 plus 2 and 1/3. So the first step is to add the whole numbers first, later the fractions. So which ones are the whole numbers? Which ones are the whole numbers? So we have 1 and 2. They are the whole numbers. So step number 1 says to add the whole numbers. So you have your equal sign. You can see that I've highlighted the whole numbers in blue. So 1 plus 2 plus the fractions. Step 2, class read. Okay, find the lowest common multiple of which two numbers? Which numbers are we going to find the common multiples? Which two numbers?
2 and 3.
Louder?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. So we will look at 2 and 3. Now I'd like multiples of 2. Can I have somebody to come up to the board and give me 5 multiples of 2? Thank you, Minol. Quickly. All right, thank you. Can I have one more to write down the multiples of 3? Thank you, Vanessa. All right, thank you. Now you also have your multiplication table on the table. So we have, which one is common? Which two numbers are common? 6, as well as sorry, we'll just add up the list. What's after 10? What's the next one? All right, thank you. So we will see that the next common number is, class? 12. Which one is the lowest? 6. So 6 is the lowest. So we have the LCM as, class, what's the LCM? Multiple. What's the lowest common multiple? 6. All right, what's the next step? Again? Well done. Step 3, we make the LCM as LCD. So LCM will be used as a, LCD. LCD meaning it will be used as the common denominator. So we have already added the whole numbers. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. When you rewrite your fraction, you will have 3 wholes plus a half plus 1/3. So because we have are they the same? No, they are not the same. That's why we have to look for the multiples to find the common denominator. And we have found that by listing the multiples, and our common denominator will be 6. All right, our next step, step 4. Okay, use the LCD. Same factor. So we have 2. Okay, we have the lowest common denominator as 6. 2 times what number will give 6? 3. So we will multiply a half by 3. Okay, watch carefully, please. And 3 times what number will give 6? 2. So we multiply the second fraction, which is 1/3, by 2. We have 1 times 2 at the top plus 3 times 2 at the bottom. So likewise for a half, 2 times 3 will give 6. That's why we multiply by 3 on the numerator as well as the denominator. Okay, did you see how we did the multiplication up here? All right, it is through the LCD. So you multiply the first denominator by a number to give you 6. So our answer is 3. So that 3 you multiply by the numerator as well as the denominator for the first fraction. Then we have the second one, 1/3. 3 times what will give you 6? We have found that it will be 2. So you multiply the numerator by 2 as well as the denominator. Now our fifth step, we're still on step 4. Step 4, class watching. Don't forget your whole number. Place your whole number. We have already worked on it, so you just place it. 3 plus. Now we have 1 times 3 is equal to 3. 2 times 6 is equal to 6. Plus, second fraction, 1 times 2 is equal to 2. 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So we have 3/3 is an equivalent fraction to half. Then we have plus 2/6 is an equivalent fraction to 1/3. So now we have the fractions using the lowest common denominator. So we have step 5. What's step 5, class? Take the numerators and put themselves. Okay, you can see that because we have 6 is, anyone? Yes, Laka? You can see that 6 is, louder please.
Same.
All right, 6 is the same, so it becomes the common denominator. So we have it So we have 3, don't forget the 3, the whole number, 3 plus 3 plus 2 all over 6. 6 is the common denominator. That's why we have it as written as only one number. It's the common denominator. So we have 3 wholes plus 3 plus 2 all over 6. So you add 3 plus 2 will give you 5. So we have, the next step is, you have 3 plus 5, 6. Then your final answer will be, remember we are adding, your final answer will be 3 and 5/6. Can you see the steps in working out? Now step number 6, you write the fraction in its simplest form where necessary. Is this answer in its simplest form? Rodney? Rupa, is it in its simplest form? Anyone? Or do we have to divide further? Write it in its simplest form. Is it in its simplest form?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Yes, it is in its simplest form. Okay, can you see it? This is what I've just shown you using the example. Using that same idea, your layout of working out must be the same. Now, using the steps, I'd like us to move on to our exercise. I want you to try to work this. So I'd like you to work on the next exercise A, which is add 1 and 3/8 plus 3 and 1/8. You've got 2 exercises, that's A. And we have the next one as B. You copy your question down quickly so I'll give you 1 minute. It's on. Is it on?
Sure, do you have your answers to all the steps that you follow?
Yes.
Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
But you can ask the students.
But it's on a rough, like just me, rough
It's
paper.
okay, as long as it's a guide for you. Let the students do the correction, and then you ask the students to look at the friends working out. Is it correct? Exactly the same. Followed all the steps from 1 to 6. And then
Receiving teachers and students, this is your exercise, second exercise, B, 4 and 1/3 plus 2 and 2/5. Please teachers, receiving teachers, I'd like you to guide your students while they are working on their exercises, following the steps. The receiving teachers, I didn't speak to them. I forgot to the receiving teacher. Should I write that question?
Correctly one plan, Charlie, because in 5 minutes remaining.
Okay, all right. Okay. Just give 1 minute. Okay, I'll just give you one more minute. So, 1 more minute, and then we'll correct exercise A, and we will leave B as homework. Okay, everyone, stop work. Put your biros down, please. I'm very sorry, but time's catching up, so please put your biros down. Okay, we will correct exercise A. Can I have a volunteer who would like to show his or her working out? Anyone? It's good to try. We learn from our mistakes. Anyone? Receiving teachers and students, we are going to go through the corrections to our exercise. We will only correct A, and we will leave B for homework. So I'd like you to also do the same. Choose a student in your class to do the correction or lay out his or her working out on the board so we can correct. Okay? Okay, class, can we go through exercise A? Now, what is the first step? What is the first step? Add the whole numbers. So what are the whole numbers? Okay, can someone come up to the board and write it for us? Okay. Maybe exercise B, you will come up to the board and write. This time, we have 1 and 3 are the whole numbers, so we have 1 plus, class, 3 plus, what's the fraction? 3 over 8. What's the next fraction? 1 over 8. So 1 plus 3 is equal to 4 plus, first fraction, 3 over 8 plus what? 1 over 8. What's the next step? What's the next step? Make the denominators the same. Are they the same? Yes. So we just go straight to getting the common denominator. So we have 4 plus 8 is common, so you have 8 as the common denominator. So you just add the numerators. Numerators, 3 plus 1 equals 4 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 4 over 8. 4 over 8. So we have our final answer as 4 and 4/8. Is it in its simplified form? Yes? Can we divide further? Yes or no? Study a fraction. Okay. Here, yes, we can. We can divide further. Can you find a number that can divide into 4 and 8? Yes, or 2? Okay, say your answer again, please.
2.
All right, we can divide by 2. So we divide by 2. Two into 4. 2 into 4 is 2. 2 into 8 will be 4. Can we divide further? Yes? By how many? By 2? Yes. Divide by 2. 4 divide by 2. So 2 into 2 will be 1. 2 into 4 will be 2. Is it in its simplified fraction? Yes, it is in its simplified form. We cannot divide further. All right? Thank you very much. Let's move on to our summary. Class, that is our summary. Add mixed numbers by adding the whole number first and then the fraction. Next, find the LCM if the denominators are not the same. When the denominators are the same, you add the numerators. Our key phrase for today is adding fractions with whole numbers. Our next lesson will be on subtracting like fractions. Okay, with that, thank you very much, 6s, for your participation.
Thank you for your